Europe is a continent rich in history, culture, and art. But beyond the museums and monuments, there's another side to its spirit. One that dances in the streets, lights up the night skies, and brings entire cities together in celebration. In this video, we explore 10 unforgettable European multi-day street festivals and carnivals. Some are widely recognized, others not so much. All are vibrant events where creativity, heritage, and community collide. You'll meet locals, taste tradition, and be immersed in their distinctive festivities. These aren't just events, they're experiences not to be missed. Let's dive into the magic. In February, the city of Cologne, Germany throws open its arms for Kölner Carnival, one of the largest and most energetic street festivals in Europe. With over 1 million revelers, the streets explode in a kaleidoscope of costumes, satire, and song. This tradition, dating back to the 18th century, builds up to Rose Monday, where elaborate floats parade through the streets, tossing sweets, flowers, and the occasional toy to the roaring crowd. What makes this 6-day event special is how welcoming the locals are. Don't be surprised if strangers pull you into a conga line, or offer you a Kolsch beer mid-parade. Thousands of performers march, dance, and sing in colorful costumes. The atmosphere is electric, and most events are free to attend. Each February on the sunny French Riviera, the Nice Carnival bursts into color and brings 2 weeks of creativity to this seaside city. Dating back to 1294, it's one of Europe's oldest carnivals, and today attracts around 1 million visitors annually. Multiple parades feature enormous satirical floats and dazzling costumes. Don't miss the much-loved Battle of Flowers, where performers on blossom-covered carriages toss fresh flowers into the crowds. The nighttime Parade of Lights is a spectacular event where the colossal carnival floats are lit up. Each year has a new theme, for example, King of Music. The festival is built around the King's float, which leads the main parades. On the final night, the King's effigy is burned in the harbor in a symbolic and dramatic closing ceremony. This is a festival that blends glamour with tradition, and residents take real pride in the artistry. Venice, already one of the world's most beautiful cities, becomes even more surreal during its annual carnival. Each February, for about 2 weeks, it attracts over 3 million visitors who come to admire the city's most iconic symbol, the mask. The origins date back to the 12th century, when Venetians wore masks to erase class differences during public festivities. The festival begins with the Festa Veneziana, a water parade on the Grand Canal that lights up the night with music and floating lanterns. Don't miss the famous Flight of the Angel, where a winged figure descends from the basilica's bell tower. From there, the city becomes a living stage, filled with masked characters, wandering musicians, and improvised performances in every square. From elaborate masquerade balls to gondola parades, the carnival exudes timeless elegance and grandeur. You don't need a ticket to enjoy the magic, just wander by St. Mark's Basilica or Doge's Palace, where street performers and costume participants create a mesmerizing atmosphere. Many Venetians are happy to share the stories behind their masks, inviting you into a tradition that's both theatrical and deeply cultural. Venice Carnival isn't just a festival, it's a dream made real. While most European carnivals end with Ash Wednesday, in the beautiful Swiss city of Basel, things are just getting started. This is Fasnacht, a 72-hour whirlwind of tradition, satire, and music, known as the 3 most beautiful days, which happen in February or March. It begins in total darkness. At exactly 4 a.m. on Monday morning, the city's lights are turned off. Then, lanterns glow, drums roll, and flutes pierce the quiet. This is Morgenstreik. Thousands of masked figures, known as cliques, parade through the old town, carrying hand-painted lanterns and playing haunting piccolo melodies. Each lantern tells a story, often a sharp satire of current events. On Monday and Wednesday afternoons, the city erupts with the cortèges, mammoth parades featuring costumed groups, brass bands, and elaborately decorated wagons. Participants remain masked at all times and never speak. Instead, they communicate through music, pamphlets, or a toss of confetti. Dozens of Guggen music bands, intentionally offbeat and off-key, take over the plazas. It's noisy, boisterous, and completely wonderful. Be sure to grab a bowl of Basler Mehlsuppe, a hearty flour soup traditionally eaten during Fasnacht, or a slice of Zwiebelwahe, the local onion tart. Basel Fasnacht is one of Europe's most original street festivals and one you'll never forget. In the Basque city of Bayonne, France, July brings 5 days of music, dance and cultural pride with the Fêtes de Bayonne. Dressed in white with red scarves, over 1 million people take part in concerts, sports competitions, traditional games, and communal meals. The streets are packed with revelers of all ages from morning to night, all singing, dancing, and celebrating local identity. On the first day, the symbolic keys to the city are handed over to a costumed figure called King Leon from the balcony of the town hall, marking the official start of the festival. During the event, you'll see parades, street performances and light shows, and witness traditional dances and music. There are massive fireworks shows over the Nive River and all-night dancing in plazas and open-air bars. Basque cuisine takes center stage. Be sure to sample the piperade, the axoa de veau or veal stew, and Basque cakes from the many street food markets. The Fêtes de Bayonne is high energy and joyful, not just an epic party but a cultural statement. Every August for 3 weeks the medieval streets of Edinburgh, Scotland become the center of the creative universe. The festival Fringe is the world's largest arts festival, with over 3 million attendees and thousands of performances, from comedy and theater to magic and dance. It all began in 1947, when a handful of artists showed up uninvited to perform on the fringes of the official Edinburgh International Festival. This isn't just about watching, it's about discovery. Artists perform in pubs, parks, and basements. You might stumble into a hidden venue and witness a show that moves you to tears or laughter. The streets are lined with thousands of posters, performers handing out flyers, and spontaneous mini-shows erupting on the Royal Mile. Many performances are pay what you can or completely free. Locals and visitors mingle freely, swapping recommendations and striking up conversations between shows. The Fringe is a non-stop explosion of innovation anyone can perform. And anything can happen. The streets of London's Notting Hill are awash in color every August as Europe's largest street festival celebrates Caribbean culture, music, and resilience. Started in 1966, it's now a weekend of parades, steel drum bands, and dance troupes. With over 2 million visitors, it's vibrant, loud, and incredibly alive. Expect to dance with strangers, eat with your hands, and get swept up in rhythms that celebrate identity and freedom. There'll be reggae beats and jerk chicken and, of course, jaw-dropping costumes. Thousands of dancers, drummers, and performers bring the streets to life. Just show up and join the party. The huge parade winds its way past the pastel-colored homes of Notting Hill, a noticeable contrast between tradition and pageantry. At Notting Hill Carnival, you don't just watch, you feel it. For about 5 days in late August, the charming Renaissance town of Ferrara, Italy, becomes the stage for the Ferrara Buskers Festival, Europe's largest event dedicated to street performers. Several hundred artists from around the world transform plazas, alleys, and archways into unrehearsed performances. Jazz quartets, flamenco guitarists, fire dancers, and more. If you're a fan of raw, street-level talent with its spontaneous magic, this Buskers Festival is not to be missed. In addition, the festival hosts an artisan and craft market that supports local artisans and adds a creative market atmosphere. Browse unique handmade goods between shows. You'll also find art and photography exhibitions, as well as workshops, talks, and readings on a variety of topics. Ferrara is a UNESCO-listed city, so take some time to see some of its main attractions. Highlights include the moat-ringed Castello Estense and the stunning Ferrara Cathedral in the heart of town. Croatia's Špancirfest, held in Varaždin each August, is a jubilant celebration of street life, creativity, and community. The festival invites everyone to stroll, discover, and enjoy art, music, and performance. The town's Baroque charm sets the scene for 10 days of music, theater, and workshops, all largely free to enjoy. There is almost no audience, taste, or interest that the wealth of about 500 diverse programs fails to touch. As you wander, you'll see families making crafts, street musicians playing folk tunes, and artisans demonstrating age-old techniques. Visitors are more than welcome. In fact, they're invited to join the experience, not just observe it. This festival is fun, lively, and interactive with a super warm community vibe. Varaždin is a picturesque town and worth exploring while you are there. Be sure to visit the fairy tale Varaždin Castle and the beautifully landscaped Varaždin Cemetery. It's unlike any cemetery you've seen. In September, Barcelona throws a gigantic citywide party, La Mercè, in honor of its patron saint, Our Lady of Mercy. Since 1902, this 5-day event has been a symbol of civic pride and cultural identity, drawing over 2 million attendees. Held all over Barcelona, you'll see castells or human towers, a tradition that began in the 18th century. Teams called Colles Castelleres compete to build the tallest and most complex human towers. Enjoy themed activities such as the Beast Parade featuring mythical animals like dragons and eagles. Don't miss the giant puppets representing kings, queens, nobles, and folkloric characters. They dance, twirl, and interact with the crowd. The Korofok, or Fire Run, is a wild, electrifying spectacle. People dressed as devils wield pitchforks that spew fireworks, while dragon floats breathe sparks and fire. Spectators often wear hats and long sleeves to run under the sparks. The Magic Fountain of Montjuic and the beach often host pyrotechnic displays. The Pyromusical, a spectacular light, water, and fireworks show set to music, is the grand finale. This is a festival that brings locals and tourists together. Everyone's welcome to join the dancing, to cheer for a castell, or to duck under a spark-filled firework umbrella. From candlelit streets to fire-lit skies and towering human castells, Europe's street festivals reveal the soul of its cities. Discover new sounds, new traditions, and new spirit. Whether you're planning a trip to a specific country or planning a trip full of events, festivals in Europe will give you an unforgettable and immersive experience that you can't get from just visiting museums. Thank you for joining us on this amazing journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with like-minded travelers looking for an exceptional vacation. See you in another Travel Top 10 video where we'll explore more delightful getaways in Europe.